BBC Radio Oxford, Belinda Carlisle. Heaven is a place on earth. Well, in Monday afternoon, this is Kat in for Joe Tunis. I hope you're having a good afternoon so far. Now, it's Monday, so we're going to be talking about health and more specifically talking about acupuncture. We're talking about what it is, its benefits. We're also going to be talking to people that have had acupuncture as well. You know, I've often thought about it. I've never had it, and I don't really know exactly what it does. So this is going to be a bit of a learning thing this afternoon for me. So going to be joined by Rhiannon Griffiths from Tame. She's in the studio now, just having a chat about it. Very fascinating. So I can't wait to actually have a little chat with you in more detail in a few moments' time. But first, going to play some Samantha Sang. This is Emotion, featuring the Bee Gees as well. What will you find on our website? Go online at bbc.co.uk/Oxford and get clicking today. So it's Monday and we're talking health, and today we're concentrating on acupuncture. And before you say you're frightened of needles, you really do need to hear what our guest has to say on this ancient Chinese form of treatment. Now, Rhiannon Griffiths is joining me here in the studio. Good afternoon, Rhiannon. Now, she treats her patients at the White House in Tame. And you're going to be taking us through some of the benefits, because there are a lot of benefits, in fact, of this form of medicine, including how it can help us with a lot more than just back pain, for which, of course, it's best known. Quite fascinating, actually, just talking to you, ahead of talking to you now. But just explain, for a lot of people that don't know what acupuncture actually is, because I have to say, a little bit ignorant, I don't. So can you just explain what it is in basic terms?
Yeah, acupuncture is a form of Chinese medicine that focuses on harmonizing the mind, the body and the emotions by balancing what we call internal energy. You might have heard people talk about qi. That's basically what we use, and it involves the insertion of ultrafine needles into specific points along the body, and that restores the proper functioning of the body.
And there are a lot of specific points in the body, isn't there? Actually, unfortunately, this doesn't work for radio, but you've brought your little man in with all the channels. Am I right in saying that they're all the channels? I mean, roughly how many channels are there that you can use to stick these needles into?
There are 12 primary channels, but the channels are throughout all the body. So there are divergent channels, deeper channels. It's kind of like a bit like the circulatory system. You know, it's from the tops of our heads, the tips of our fingers, the tips of our toes, except when you cut the body open, you wouldn't be able to see it inside it, but it does go everywhere.
So is there anywhere that you can't stick a needle?
Not really. Within reason. Obviously, you wouldn't stick one actually in your eye or something like that, but yeah, pretty much everywhere.
I mean, how does it actually go about restoring the functioning of the body, though, Rhiannon?
So we seek to address the root cause of the reason or the issue that someone's coming in with. So we differentiate whether the condition needs the qi or the energy to be moved. If there's a stagnation there causing pain, inflammation, we need to move that through. Or someone might need to be boosted and nourished. So it's this differentiation of identifying exactly what's going on in a patient's body that makes the results of treatment better in the long term.
So do you have a lot of people sometimes that they've been to their doctor can't really pinpoint exactly what's wrong with them, and they come to you almost as a last resort, maybe in some cases, and they say, you know, I've been having this problem, you know, the doctor doesn't quite know what it is, can't treat it, what can you do?
No, quite often we are the last resort for people. I'm quite used to people coming in saying they've tried pretty much everything. They're not sure if acupuncture is really for them or if it's going to work, but it's kind of, yeah, they'll give it a go. So it's the way that we view the body in a very different way to Western medicine that actually can mean that they get a result where they haven't had a result before.
I find this quite amazing, actually, because, you know, these long, thin needles are just stuck into channels of the body. But, I mean, how does sticking tiny needles into the channels actually really work? How does that have an effect, and how does that make us feel better?
I know, it's a pretty weird concept. It's one of the things that I'm often asked at parties when I say I'm an acupuncturist.
I should think all the focus is on you at dinner parties, isn't it? Yes.
It is strange. In terms of Western medicine, they would suggest that the needles connect with the nerve pathways and the nerves within the nervous system. But in Chinese medicine, we view it in exactly the way that you've just described it, with all the channels and meridians all over the body.
Can you explain what a meridian is?
Yes, it's kind of a pathway of energy.
Mm.
So again, it's the ones that can run from the tops of the head to the ends of our toes. And in Chinese medicine, we would suggest that the needle connects with the energy within that pathway. So it tells the body to do something, to boost something or move something or rebalance, whatever's needed at that particular time. It's sort of like the needles are talking to the body. So by connecting with that energy, it's helping the body to heal itself by telling it to do something it needs
Fairly
to
clever
do.
needles, aren't they? But can you also explain, because there's something different between the sort of the Western medicine view and the Chinese medicine as well. Can you explain what the difference is, how the Chinese medicine sort of see it, basically?
Yeah, in exactly that way. It's the difference. We look at the body in a very different way to Western medicine. My patients are really used to me saying, if it sounds strange, if something I say sounds strange or a bit out there, then ask me to rephrase it, because often I will caveat everything I say. In Chinese medicine, we believe that, because it is different to Western medicine.
A vast subject. We're going to talk an awful lot more, of course, about acupuncture and what it's good for, what does it treat. We're also going to be talking to some of your patients that have come in with specific ailments, and you have treated them, are treating them, and obviously talk to them and find out whether it's actually worked for them. So, but right now we're going to play Needles and Pins. I think that's quite appropriate, actually. It's The Searchers. It's BBC Radio Oxford.